The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 495 of your daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the second edition Private Reserve playing cards from Dan and Dave. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. So, here we have the Private Reserve, the second edition Private Reserve playing cards here. That matte brown finished top box with all that luxury gold foiling, and it's slightly embossed, so you can feel a little bit of the texture. And then here's the front of the tuck box, a little sneak peek of that back design there. On one side it says the D&D Playing Card Co. Other side says designed by Jeff Trish there. And then on the other side here, like the back of the tuck box, it says Private Reserve Playing Cards made in the USA. Then it says individually inspected, and then highest quality, poker size, and then the main focus is that big long seal that you see here. So you got that big long tan colored seal with that green wax stamp there in the middle with the Dan and Dave logo there right in the middle. And then these are numbered. So you got the date, which was they were released in 2016. And I got number 1732 out of 2500 there. And then you got the little Dan and Dave logo at the top there. And mine, the glue came off a little bit, so I don't have to like cut the seal for these cards. I can just pull it back and open the tuck flap. But on there, you just got some gold foiling there. And then if I just pull that back on the tuck flap here, you got some more like gold little pinstriping. And then you just got the little gold dots on the inner tuck flaps. Now we take the cards out of the box. On the inside of the tuck box, there's that matte brown finish. Nothing too crazy or fancy going on inside there. And now that we took a look at the cards, now that we took a look at the tuck box, come take a look at the cards. And first we'll start with the back design. So here we have a mirrored back design with the standard white border around and there. And it is a black background with that gold foiling over top of it, which looks super elegant there. And you got the Dan and Dave logo there on either side, and then there's that gold like little pinstripe pattern all the way around there. Pretty nice. And it is mirrored, so if you flip it over, same design in both the directions. And then for the cards you get with the deck, here we start. Start with the Jokers first. Here we start with the first Joker. It says Buck and Buck. Then you kind of got that little circle design there and that gold foiling, gold metallic ink there. And I'm not entirely sure what the design is. It looks like a bunch of trees and stuff like that. Then you got a second identical Joker there. So two identical Jokers. Then you got that custom Ace of Spades there with that gold metallic ink. There you got the big spade there with the gold metallic ink. It says Dan and Dave playing cards and the Dan and Dave logo. There, and these are hand signed there by, I think that's KC, but I'm not entirely sure. It says individually inspected by KC, and then 119 there. And then the rest of the cards are pretty standard. So it's pretty much a standard deck of cards. Then we get to the core cards, Jack, Queen, and King of Spades. And they're the standard design, just in that red and gold metallic colorway. And the diamonds here are just a darker red colorway, but pretty standard diamonds. And then the Jack, Queen, and King of Diamonds here. Once again, that red and gold metallic colorway. Same thing for the clubs, a custom colorway. And then the clubs are just standard clubs. And then lastly, the hearts, Jack, Queen, and King of Hearts. Once again, standard just in that custom red and gold colorway. And then the hearts are just that dark red colorway. And then the last two cards in the deck is the little Art of Play ad card and the Dan and Dave ad card there. Pretty elegant there, pretty simplistic with that gold metallic ink there. But now that we took a look at the cards for the handling, they're that air cushion finish from United States Playing Company, so they will handle fantastic. And these are brand new straight out of the box, so I gotta say for the springs, these cards are a little bit stiff on the stiffer side, so it's a slightly like a thicker stock, I guess. And because they are foil on the back, so it might make it a little bit thicker and stiff, but like it's still a spring. Just gotta put a little bit more effort into like squeezing them and getting like bend. but they still do spring. And for the fans, they fan pretty nicely. Pretty decent fans. They have to be broken a little bit so they're a little bit more like smoother to work with. Pretty smooth ferrule there. I kind of slightly messed that up though. Yeah, that was a bad ferrule. Let's try that again. Try to make them a little bit more even this time. There we go. That's a little better. Now try for a better giant fan. Ah, that's a better giant fan. That nice shiny giant fan. And they still reverse ferrule pretty nicely as well. And then for the riffles, they seem to riffle pretty nicely. Super smooth riffles, no issues there. And like I keep saying, packet cuts, no issues there. Also, overall, they handle pretty nicely. A little bit stiff straight out of the box, so they have to be broken a little bit so they're a little bit more smoother to work with. But other than that, they handle fantastic. They feel fantastic in the hands, and they look fantastic with that elegant back design there. That's not a nice, luxurious back design. With that gold foiling there on top of the black background. Looks pretty nice, and you got the pretty standard faces. So it's in it. You can use this deck like every day because it's a pretty standard deck. But the quick cards are slightly custom with that kind of red and gold metallic colorway there. And then that we had that ace of spades. Well, we got the custom jokers as well. But that ace of spades there, which was hand signed there and inspected. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. And this has been day 495 of your daily deck review. And this has been the second edition of the Private Reserve playing cards from Dan and Dave. And I'm the Canadian Card Collector signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.